Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Christopher Sheets, and I am your instructor for FMA 150. And I just wanted to introduce myself and welcome you to the class. Basically, I want to go through in this video. I want to go through steps of what you need to be doing each week, my recommendations on how you should study for this class, and just overall any sort of tips or tricks that you need to get through this. The class is pretty straightforward. There's movies. This is a film history class, so there's going to be historical films that we're going to expect you to watch and write about. There's also different readings that you'll need to do. This is a normal history college class. As you guys are aware, I'm sure you get your history credit taking this course. But I also like to look at this class and think of it as something that's enjoyable and fun. Most of us like media of some sort, whether it be movies, television shows, old television shows, new media, YouTube videos, something like that. Most everybody that's in this, that's the reason why you took it. The workload is a medium workload, in my opinion, and it's probably going to take you probably 3-ish, maybe 4 hours a week, and that includes the movies or videos that you'll need to watch. There could be a little bit more in some weeks and a little bit less in other weeks, but I would say an average is somewhere between probably 3 and 4 hours. The bulk of that is actually watching the material or reading the material. Your actual assignments aren't excessively long. They're pretty straightforward. So anyway, I'm going to cut over to so you can see my screen. And I'm going to walk you through kind of all the pieces and everything. But I wanted to let you see my face, say hello, welcome. We're going to have a good time, especially if you like TV and film. You will enjoy this course. I'm going to make it as fun as possible, and we'll go from there. All right. Let me see if I can get this all clicked over. What we're going to do is I'm going to just kind of walk you through our first week and kind of just show you what is in here, kind of what to look at, important keynotes, just basically a good way to learn to navigate. This is week 1. So let's start off by, I have a couple classes that I'm teaching. So here's our FMA 150 History of American Cinema. So you're going to click on this, and it's going to automatically drop you right here on the recent announcements and bring you to this page. So this page is basically our syllabus page. Everybody needs to read the syllabus. You need to go through the syllabus. It's there to protect you. It's also there to protect me. So everybody is on the same page and we all understand, hey, this is what our expectations are as a teacher for the students, and then you also understand what those expectations are, and everything moves very quickly and easily. So there's no misunderstandings, essentially. This is a full online class. So you will be responsible for every Monday, bright and early, as soon as you can, logging in and taking a look at what is expected. There will be a video every week, very bare bones minimum. It's me saying, hello, how you doing? Throwing a couple things at you about this week's course and some navigation, and then thank you and good luck. And other ones will be longer, and they'll be more lecture oriented on pieces of cinema or important dates or important pieces of cinema that you need to make sure that you're aware of. So there'll be some that are a little more in depth and some that are a little less in depth each week. I would generally try and say I'm going to attempt, outside of this video right here, I'm going to attempt to keep the videos under 30 minutes. So if you think of that in standard, if you go into a course that you're taking at Yavapai in a classroom, the lecture every week is going to probably be well more than 30 minutes. So these videos are my chance to kind of give you that lecture, and you can replay them over and over. So that's also a benefit for you as well. Again, some of them will be shorter and other ones will be longer. So let's start off with the syllabus. You would navigate right here and you can click and download your syllabus. I already have it open. I'll click over to this frame right here. So here it is, FMA 150, History of American Cinema. Our dates that we run are January 20th through March 13th. My name is Christopher Sheets. I'm your instructor. I introduced myself on the other view a minute ago. This is an online via Canvas course. That's important right here. If you thought you were signing up for something where you are reporting to the school to be lectured to, you're incorrect. And make sure that if that's what you need, that you need to go into the registrar's office or go talk to your counselor to get things worked out. But this is a full online course. So you need access to a computer every week for multiple hours in order to be able to complete your work. Now, office hours. My office hours are anytime after 3 p.m. via Zoom. So if you need to speak with me for something that's extreme in detail, we can arrange for a Zoom meeting. In a class such as this, I don't generally see that most people are going to need a Zoom call. Most of the time, it's usually an email, potentially a phone call. But most of the time, an email does it. Hey, it's an email that says, "Hey, Mr. Sheets, you gave us 3 videos. Am I supposed to watch all 3, or am I supposed to only pick one and watch one and write about it," or something like that? It's usually more basic questions. But if it's a bigger one and you need a face-to-face, by all means, I can meet with you via Zoom after 3 p.m. Please reach out to schedule. So you're going to want to email me and say, "Hey, Mr. Sheets, I'd like to meet with you. I'm having some issues that I need to speak with you about. Can we arrange a Zoom meeting?" I will, of course, say sure, and then I'll let you know what my schedule is for the upcoming several days, and we can figure out what matches your schedule, what matches my schedule. I am an adjunct professor here at Yavapai College. I've been an adjunct for Yavapai College since 2017. But I live in Tennessee now. I used to live in Prescott. I now live in Tennessee, and I have a full-time teaching job here in Tennessee. So that's why it has to be after 3 p.m. because I'm at my normal teaching job. That's my full-time gig every day. So I can't meet with you during those hours. All right, course overview. This is a survey of American film and art form and industry and system of representation and communication, technical aesthetics and cultural aspects of cinema and the reading of film as a means of communicating American ideals, values, and attitudes. Prerequisites are reading proficiency. That's pretty much an easy one. I would say that the majority of the people at the college level have a pretty reasonable ability to read. So if you need learning outcomes, if you want to know what those outcomes are, they are right here. You're required assessment measurements. There will be some critique, development of the American film industry. So you'll be critiquing. We will be looking at these things together. You'll be critiquing what you've watched. I will critique your critique. If your critique is spot on, or you've really nailed it, and I agree with you, and I feel that you have learned what you have watched, and your critique is accurate. Generally, I'm just going to say, "Hey, great job, nice critique, way to go." That's what you'll get for feedback. If you have missed something within the critiques that you're doing, if there's something that I feel you need to know about, I'll add more. Like, did you think of such and such? Did you think of the ramifications here? Your critique is what you have read within the film that you're watching. So I don't care what film it is, whether it's SpongeBob SquarePants, all the way through Gone with the Wind and everything in between, sci-fi or whatever. 99.999% of that is some form of information, ideals being given to the people watching. Okay, you're watching SpongeBob SquarePants. Well, a lot of those things you think it's just a funny little cartoon with a sponge walking around Bikini Bottom and going on little adventures. Well, there's generally more to it than that. There's usually some sort of message, some sort of learning experience that's meant for youth to watch and hopefully make them better. You know, how to treat your friends, how to work together, or whatever it might be. And they do that in a comedic form. All the way through, you can be talking about different Academy Award-winning films, and there's cultural references and cultural critiques that are going on about our world within that film. So there's a lot to be thought about. It's not just watch it, hey, this is great, I enjoyed it, it was fun to watch. So please keep that in mind as we move through this. That's really a big chunk of what we're doing. We're learning about the cinema, what was made, how it was made, why it was made. And the big one is, why. Okay, so syllabus agreement, here's your discussion. You're going to be discussing about Hugo. These are basically all of your assignments when they're ready for you, when you need to have them done, when you need to be working on them. So like we come up over here, it was week 1, January 20 through 25th, and this is what we'll be going through right here. If I can get it to highlight, down to here. Oops, there we go. So this is what you're going to be going through this week. Okay, and then when we get to week 2, which is January 26th through February 1st, you're going to be going through these parts. Okay, so you can go through and look, and the syllabus shows you exactly what we're going to be working on throughout the semester. Okay, grading, your weekly assignments are 40%, your weekly discussions are 20%, your film analysis is 30%, and your quizzes are 10%. So if you complete your assignments and you complete them in a relatively quality manner, you're going to be looking at somewhere around 40% of your grade is right. Well, it is 40%, but if you got 100%, you'd have 40% in the class if that's the only thing you did. Well, then you get into your weekly discussions. These are important, and those are 20%. You get 100% on those, and you're already at 60%. You've really taken the bull by the horns, and you're doing really well. Well, at 60%, you have your film analysis, which are worth another 30%. Let's say you have a hard time with film analysis through a few of them. And your essays are a little bit on the weaker side. Well, you were at 60%. Maybe you only get 20% of that. So you've been averaging around like a 75% on it or something. Well, you're still sitting in that B range for your grade. And then you have your quizzes, which is worth 10%. If you're spotty on quizzes, I'm going worst case scenario. You're spotty on quizzes, you have a hard time, you have test anxiety, whatever it might be. Well, you're sitting in the B range, and then you get your extra points. And hey, maybe you're at the high Bs or low As. So anyway, remember these things. This is how the class is weighted. So first off, what I do want to point out is your discussion questions. One of the weakest points that I see within any class that I've ever taught, and any class that I've ever taken, or any class that I've just seen other people teach, is the discussion question portion of the course. What I really want to point out is the discussion portion of the course, in my opinion, is one of the most important portions of the entire course. It is the place where you can really dig in and learn the information. Questions are going to be asked, and you're going to answer the questions to what it is that you have watched, what you have learned, and what you understand about what we're going through that week. The great thing about discussion questions is you get to go and read other people's perspectives on pretty much the same thing. And then you also get to comment. So if somebody, gives an answer and you're like, oh, well, they missed this one piece that you understand, you're able to jump in there and say, hey, did you think about these other perspectives? And that person will go back and look, and they'll go, oh, I didn't think about that. That is really interesting. Same thing can happen for you. You could give your perspective, and somebody could jump in and say, yeah, but did you think of these perspectives? So it's a really good place to exchange information and have a discussion and really learn. And I feel that's where what I like to call sticky learning, that's where the real learning that sticks with you comes from. Sure, you can look at an assignment and you can do the assignment. You can watch a movie and you can try and break it down in your brain what you think about the movie is. The quizzes, you can regurgitate information. But really that sticky learning where the understanding comes in is under that weekly discussion. So I really find that your weekly discussions are one of the most important places to understand and work. Okay. Next, these are your discussion prompts in Canvas. So you have this right here. So make sure that you read through this. We then get into our course policies, which are important. Okay. Late work, 10% deduction per day. So please, by all means, make sure that you get your stuff turned in on time. Essentially, if you're not getting your work done on time and you're turning it in late, you're going to get that 10% deduction per day. I stick pretty hard to this. I don't want to be one of those hard-nosed teachers where everybody's like, oh, Mr. Sheets is so incredibly hard and he doesn't have any grace. By all means, if you know that something's going to be late and you have a legitimate reason, there's a death in the family, or you've been incredibly sick, or something like that, by all means, please let me know. Some grace is given, absolutely. Don't be that person that every week you're like, hey, I was sick, hey, I was sick, hey, I was sick, and you're turning stuff in late constantly. But yeah, of course, during the semester, if there's, an assignment or two that has popped up and you've been really sick, like there's a couple sicknesses going around right now that are pretty bad, and you're just flat on your back and can't do any work for a few days, by all means, let me know. I am completely gracious and will absolutely give you an extension so you don't lose that 10% per day. But one of the things that I dislike very much, and I don't give much grace on, is, oh, my life was really busy this week, Mr. Sheets. I couldn't get to work. Okay, not trying to play the comparison game, but I teach multiple courses at Yavapai online. I also teach here in Tennessee full-time. It's probably a 60-hour-a-week job. I'm also taking courses working on my Master's of Fine Art. So I'm working on my MFA. So I'm taking classes for that. I also have a family with kids and a wife, and I also work freelance TV and film. So I am absolutely 100% busy. I still have time to go enjoy myself and go mountain biking quite often. I have time to go play with my kids and my family and go have a great time. And at the same time, again, not to boast, but to kind of let you know where I'm at, in my courses that I'm working on for my MFA, I have a 4.0 currently with all the classes that I've done. So it really makes it difficult for me knowing how much I have on my plate when I have somebody come to me and say, well, I had a really busy week. I worked a little extra at work or whatever. My suggestion to you is every Monday morning, as soon as you can, even if that means like you go to work at 6 a.m., let's say, or 5 a.m., wake up in enough time that you can go through and look at all the pages for that week's work. Look at it and then write a schedule. And this is coming from a lifetime student, lifetime career in the TV and film industry, and then also always trying to get better and make myself better. Schedule your week. Look at what you have and stick to that schedule 100% to the very best of your ability. What I notice is many people will be procrastinators. Procrastination is what will absolutely hurt you in college. Okay, procrastination. This is a conversation I have with every single one of the classes that I teach here in Tennessee, as well as my online classes. Procrastination will hurt your grade and will hurt your ability to advance forward in life. You just have to make time and do your work and do it on time. So my suggestion, how I would function if I were one of you guys taking a course, I would get up as early as possible to make sure that I can see the work for the week, and I would write a schedule. Generally on Monday, you probably know what your weekly work schedule is. If you don't, and it comes out on Tuesday or whatever it might be, sure, you know what your schedule was from last week, and then you know the new schedules come out. You can schedule yourself through Monday to Tuesday or whatever it may be. But you generally have your schedule, or you have your schedule within a few hours. Look at your schedule and go, okay, I work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 3 to 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. or something like that. Okay, well, you're not going to be doing any homework from 3 to 11 because you're going to be at work. Don't schedule yourself to do that work. Schedule yourself to get up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to, from 9 a.m. to noon, I'm going to do 3 hours worth of homework. Now, granted, my class doesn't take 5 days a week of 3 hours a day to do that. I'm guessing that you potentially have other courses that you're taking. You can schedule each day. Hey, I know that I have from 9 to 12 every day, so I'm going to schedule on Monday, I'm going to do film history. On Tuesday, I'm going to do college algebra. On Wednesday, I'm doing art. On Thursday, I'm doing geology or whatever it might be, a science. Whatever your classes may be. Do that, schedule that time. And then also schedule another chunk of time on Friday. And this is the part that gets everybody. Everybody's like, no, I want my Friday or I want my Saturdays to go do what I want. Schedule your time on Friday, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it may be. Schedule time for any work you have left. And then what's going to happen is if you get all your work done Monday through Thursday, you get to Friday and you're like, oh, wait, I have 3 extra hours that I don't need because I have everything done. I can go out and have fun and go do whatever it is that I want. Or if you didn't get something done, you're not stressing going, well, oh my gosh, I promised to go do this with my friends and go do that with my family and go do these things, and I don't have the time to finish it. It gives you that free extra time if you have gotten everything finished. So that's my suggestion on how you work things. Don't be the person that says, I'll just get it done tomorrow. I'll just get it done tomorrow. You keep putting it off and keep putting it off. You're going to end up trying to just cram and get it all done Sunday night before it's due at midnight. Okay. Now I'm going to address the next piece. I'm going to tell you right now, no, you don't work better under pressure when you have only a few hours to write a paper and you think that you write your best work in that last 3 hours before it's due. I'm going to tell you right now, I have absolutely never met somebody that crams something together and throws it together. What's going on is you're highly motivated because the stress level is up and you have to make a deadline, so you're cramming to the deadline and you get it done. And you've done that for a lot of years and you're like, wow, I actually did better than the last one that I did. And maybe it's gotten better, but it is not your best work. Your best work comes from thinking, studying, laying out a rough draft, reviewing it a day later and fixing things, and having the time to go back through after you've completed it, being able to review it and make changes and fix it. That's where your best work comes from, guaranteed. It's what I've witnessed for better part of 16 years of teaching. And people, always go, oh, no, that's not how I work. That's not how I work. Truly, I've watched people come in and work their way through and do my method and turn out and have more time to go spend time with their friends or family or doing something they enjoy. They have more time and their work is better and they're less stressed. Now, that's my suggestion. You guys, by all means, you guys are adults. You do your thing. I'm just trying to help you with what I have noticed being in the teaching industry for years, as well as being a student for many, many years as I've worked through different levels of my education. But I did a long time on that, but I have to every semester because I want to make sure people understand where I'm coming from. I don't like deducting 10% per day. I hate it. It hurts my heart every single time I have to deduct percentage because somebody didn't turn something in, because they chose to go hang out with their friends on Tuesday evening and they were out until 3:00 in the morning and they didn't get around to doing their work. So they have to cram it in somewhere else and they don't have a lot of time. So I'm just trying to help you with that. Okay. So I want to see good participation and engagement. So when it comes to those discussion questions, I am absolutely expecting that you're going to turn the discussion question in on time and you're going to answer your discussion questions on time. Academic integrity. This is massive. And this is the one I hate to talk about too because it's so negative, but academic integrity, plagiarism results in a 0 and possible disciplinary action. That's also AI. I have multiple AI checkers. People sneak stuff by occasionally, but most times I catch them. I hate to have to use AI, but when there's a lot of written stuff, it's I have to do it. We're in an age now where you can run a prompt in ChatGPT and say, give me a critique of Gone with the Wind that is 2 paragraphs long and speaks about the cinematography. And it's going to spit out 2 paragraphs speaking about that. And it is going to sound absolutely pristine and perfect. I'll tell you right now, I have seen all of it. I've seen people that do that and just turn it in. And it's like, you can tell this AI because it's so pristine and perfect, and there's not a single punctuation error, not a single spelling error, not a single grammatical error, and it sounds like a scientist with a PhD in whatever you're studying has written it, or even better. I've also seen the people that run it through AI, and they go through and change a few things around and make it a little conversational, and I catch them as well. You don't gain anything from just plugging something into AI to get it done, to get a grade. I am absolutely of the mind, all of us are put on this planet to learn and grow every single day. And this is one of those things that should be enjoyable and a growing and learning experience that should be just fun all the way through, because you're watching movies. What is more fun than sitting down and watching a fun, interesting movie? Okay. Being that it's a history class and there's assignments, that sucks a little bit of the fun out. But at the same time, if you love the films, you can love to understand what is happening in the films, what the films are trying to say, and letting people know via your assignments what you feel your interpretation is. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. Okay? Heck, we've got films to watch. If you got to watch, I keep going back to Gone with the Wind because it's a classic, but if you have to watch Gone with the Wind, invite your significant other or your best friend or your parent or your roommate or whatever it is. Say, hey, I've got to do this for class. Let's put it up on the TV and let's watch it together. It's great. Like you're going to go on a date and tell your date what you're doing. You're like, hey, come on over. I got to watch this film. I'd love to hang out with you. I'll cook you dinner, or you can cook me dinner, or however your date works. And we'll watch this movie. I've got to do it for a class, but it's a classic. And I think it'd be really fun to do that with you, and we can do it together and you get to learn. This is one of those classes where you can put it in with your daily lives and enjoy yourself instead of watching the new Avengers movie, or instead of watching an old Harry Potter movie or whatever it may be. You can choose to watch one of the movies that we have to watch for this course. So kind of learn how to insert those things. Anyway, I digress. I'm a talker if you haven't noticed, but I want to make sure that we're all clear on everything. All right, our Yavapai College policies, please go through and read all of these so you understand everything. So again, read the syllabus all the way through. So let's jump back over here. I want to show you how to navigate the course. So when you're navigating the course, every week it will have a page that you land on for the course week. This one, of course, is like all the assignments and what are due and the syllabus, and it's an intro. What you want to do is come over here to the side on the left and hit modules, and then that will bring up your modules. Now you're going to see more because I can see everything that has been created. You're going to see more than what is available to you right now. So basically right here, this is your first week. Don't be afraid. It's the first week. We have to get through a lot of things. Some of these pages are very quick and little short pages, and other ones are a little bit longer. But we have to get through this. Being that this is a history class, you got to read things. You got to watch things. I got to give you those things. So we'll go to week 1. Come right in here. This is a quick one. This is actually a really fun video right here. If you click on this, it's what is it called? Film theory? We'll click on it and say it might not be called film theory.
Imagine being able to build an app with your
commercial
name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Right. Oh, that's right. Digital Studios. So why I was thinking film theory.
How would you?
Film theory, that's something I was watching the other day. So all these on the side, these are all amazing. So this guy's really cool about talking about film. So watch this. It's an interesting, fun watch. What is it? It is 9 minutes long, and you'll be through it. All right. So you're going to watch that. You're going to read. You have another link you got to watch, read, link, watch. This is our video right here. This is a placeholder, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this up to the top so you won't see this. You'll see the video you're currently watching right now. And then you have this quick little article to read. Let's move on to the next page. Okay, we're going to talk about Hugo, Martin Scorsese, 2011, so not that long. Here's your first movie to watch. Okay, make sure that you read this or you watch this film. Okay. And there's a little information about Hugo. We'll move on to the next page. this right here is one of the short pages I was talking about. So this is about motion. And here's your little video right here. You're going to watch that. I think the video is 9 seconds long, approximately. It's going to show you how a horse ran, essentially within cinema. Until there was film cameras, everybody thought the horse ran, the front feet moved, and then the back feet moved, and the front, or not feet, hooves. They didn't realize that each one of them was individual until they actually filmed this, and they were able to watch it in slow motion frame by frame. So there's some information about that. So this is one of those quick pages. We jump over here, another quick page, and you're going to watch this. And again, other ones. And remember, I said there's going to be some long pages and quick pages. These are all your quick ones. You're going to go through and watch each one of these and read. Okay? So this are all the pieces of information. Please, they're all quick and easy. Please watch every single one of these. It's very important because when we get down to our assignments, it's going to be massively important to be able to answer all of the information. Okay. So I'm trying to jump through all these, and here we go. First discussion question. You're going to have a discussion question about Hugo. Make sure that you follow this. So. Hello, everyone. Your first discussion topic is a 3-parter. We need to take a little time for introductions. Remember, this is a discussion, so please take the time to read the classmates' responses and respond to them as well. Our class discussions are meant to engage us with our studies and also produce respectful interactive environment. Let me jump into respectful. Don't ever go at anything where it's like, hey, you're wrong, you're stupid, I can't believe you wrote that. If you disagree, you can jump in and politely say, oh, I read your perspective. I have a different perspective. I disagree with what you're saying, and here's why. We don't need to call names or anything. I've had it happen, and I can't believe it. This is a discussion for college. This is not social media. Remember, you write something down, you press enter. It's on there for the world to see. Don't be that person. Be kind, all right? Be respectful. If you disagree with what something somebody has written, you can say, hey, I respectfully disagree, and this is my perspective, and this is why. But there's no reason to get into an argument. We don't need to be discussing personal politics, personal religious beliefs, whatever you have or don't have. This is not the place for that. This is, again, not Facebook or Instagram or Snap or any of those other places. We don't need a volatile environment. We need a respectful environment, all right? The wonderful thing about our country, this is where I'll stand on my soapbox, the wonderful thing about our country is we have the right to believe what we want to believe, and other people have the right to believe what they want to believe. And the great news is, whether you agree or disagree, you can always say, hey, I disagree, and shake hands, but I respect your opinion. Please keep it like that when we're answering these. Again, I don't want to stand on a soapbox, but I feel like I have to because I've seen things go downhill. So be respectful, whether you agree or disagree, and don't call anybody out. All right. So first part of the discussion question is you're going to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about yourself, likes, dislikes, share a little bit about you. Okay. And then we're going to go into Hugo. And then we're going to jump into film vocabulary, okay? And by the time you get to here, you should have all of those pieces down, all right? So that's the first part of this week, all right? And then we have our quiz. Now, the important part about this quiz is this goes back to all of what you just went through and read and watched and viewed. Now, you get 2 attempts. I do this because I don't think quizzes or tests should punish. I think they should be the ability to help you learn. So if you go through all the information, you take the quiz, and you don't like your grade, you can then take note of what you missed and why you missed it, and go back and review what it is that's up there in the study materials that you missed. So you can come back and get a better grade. Honestly, everybody should have 80% or better on this every time because you get 2 attempts. Okay? All right, and then we jump over to week 2. So we don't need to look at that. So let's come back home. We're almost done with the video. Way to stick with me. Actually, we'll go to modules. So as you saw, this looks huge, like a ton of stuff to do. You have one full-length film to watch, and then a whole bunch of shorter pieces of film. Even Trip to the Moon right here is not a massive, by George Méliès. It's not a massively long film, but it has some. It's a little bit longer. It's still short compared to these days. Okay, Great Train Robbery. Just because there are people that are offended by guns and weapons and things like that, just to let you know, Great Train Robbery, it has that one famous shot where the cowboy turns directly to the camera, looks into the camera, pulls out a gun and shoots. If that's something that's triggering to you, please skip that and email me immediately. I don't want anybody to feel triggered by something like that. Everybody has their different beliefs about guns and weapons and how they should be used in film and outside of film and so on and so forth. Again, we don't need to get into a grand debate, but there are some people that is just something that they cannot handle, even though it is on film. Okay, no judgment passed, but just if that's something that you can't handle, please by all means email me and talk to me about it, and we'll figure it out. All right, that is it. Oh, actually, one more thing. So that's not it. One last thing. If you need to contact me, right here on the left-hand side of your screen, by all means, click on here and email me through the inbox. The Canvas inbox, the Canvas messaging system, gets to me faster than the emails. All right? I'm a busy person. I have the Canvas inbox on my phone, so when you message me on that, I will get it immediately, within a second or two. And then depending on what's going on in my day, I may be able to stop right then and email you back right away, or it may take several hours. If you email me at the very beginning of my day, I may not be able to get to you to the end of my day. If you email me towards the end of my day, I might be able to get to you within minutes, maybe an hour or something. All right. So use this. It is faster. If you email me through the standard email service, I check that only at the end of every day. So if you email me in the beginning of the day, I won't be checking that until 8 p.m. at night, and it may not help you. Especially if it's like a weekend and you have a question and it's due on Sunday at midnight and you're emailing me at 8 p.m. On Sunday. Okay, I may or may not get back to you quick enough to answer the question to help you. That's another reason why you should always start your. You should look at everything and review at the very beginning of the week, and then plan your schedule out so you have time to get a hold of me and for me to get back to you if there's an issue or a question or something that you need me for. Okay, that now is it. Again, welcome to the class. We are going to have a great time. We're going to look at classic cinema all the way through modern cinema. We're going to have a wonderful time through this. So again, if you need me, message me over here at the inbox right there. And welcome to the class. Let's have a great time. Enjoy the films and watch them and learn from them.